On Christmas Day, 1066, William the Conqueror was the first monarch to be crowned at Westminster Abbey. Tomorrow, King Charles III will be the 40th. It's an historic day that the new king has waited 70 years for.
Everyone's looking forward to it. It's very much, for many people, it's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
We sat together, just he and I, in a room in the garden. He made me laugh a lot, yes.
Overall, I think people are looking forward to the day, and so it's going to be very much a coronation for everyone, very inclusive.
The first coronation this millennium, crowning the oldest new monarch in history. After farewelling his mother with dignity as the world watched on, this weekend millions tune in again as King Charles III officially takes his place on the throne, ending the longest ever royal apprenticeship.
He's a deep thinker, Charles, and he cares a lot about what sort of world he is leaving for his children and his grandchildren.
In 2013, then Prince Charles invited Australian Women's Weekly editor-at-large Juliette Reardon to spend a day with him at Balmoral Castle.
Of course, he talked about his sons, and he was surprisingly self-deprecating. He also has that wonderful sort of jokey sense of humour.
Christened Charles Philip Arthur George, the future king was born at Buckingham Palace in November 1948. As a 4-year-old, he attended his mother's coronation, and it seems ceremonies can be challenging for little princes. Charles's grandson, Prince Louis, showing the apple doesn't fall far from the royal family tree at last year's Trooping the Colour celebration. Always comfortable at the family retreat at Balmoral, Scotland, Charles would attend boarding school at Gordonston, 2 hours north of the castle, later spending a gap year of sorts at Victoria's Geelong Grammar. And then, on July 1st, 1969, a 20-year-old Charles promised to be his mother's liege man of life and limb at his investiture as the Prince of Wales, officially beginning the preparation for the role of his life.
He wants to get things done. He wants to make the monarchy more modern.
As the world changed, the future king would have to become used to the constant presence of photographers, snapping away here as he chatted with a newly married former secretary named Camilla Parker Bowles in 1975, and when he scored a cheeky peck from Aussie model Jane Priest on Perth's Cottesloe Beach 4 years later. But in February 1981, the prince announced he had found his princess, Charles confirming his engagement to a noble-born nursery school teacher named Diana Spencer. He was 32, she was 19, and the announcement has been talked about ever since.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Then the wedding at St Paul's Cathedral. The graceful English rose saying "I do" to the dashing future king.
The wonderful gown that she wore, beautiful Diana, and the kiss and everything. We remember the whole thing.
A fairy tale, or so it seemed. Royal author Phil Dampier from London.
And obviously, we all know what happened to his first marriage. We all know what happened to Diana. So it's very difficult for him, but I think we've kind of been through that. We've moved on a little bit. I think people are giving him a fair win. I think there's a lot of goodwill towards him.
In 1982, Prince William arrived, Prince Harry arriving 2 years later. Any interaction between the feuding princes set to be highly scrutinised this weekend.
How are they going to react to the two brothers? We don't even know at the moment whether Harry's going to be seated in the front row with the other royals. William's got a role in the ceremony, of course. He's going to swear allegiance to the king as his liege man.
In 2005, King Charles would wed for the second time to his old flame, and the woman who from this weekend will be known as Queen Camilla.
His second wedding, of course, was very different, a civil service at Guildhall in Windsor. It wasn't attended by his mother and father, the Queen and Prince Philip, although they did attend the blessing afterwards and they did attend the reception.
In recent and more harmonious times, the king walked his daughter-in-law Meghan Markle down the aisle and happily posed for family photos in the days before Oprah interviews and tell-all tales.
So I think some people would prefer it if Harry wasn't coming, but Meghan decided not to come. Let's hope that on the day that's the end of it and we concentrate on what really matters, which is the King, his coronation and the future of the monarchy.
This transition is a key point in history for the royal family. Prince Charles' reign won't match his mother's 70 years, and he can't be expected to match the affection she earned during that time. But a recent BBC-commissioned poll is a source of optimism for the King, showing almost 2/3 of Britons support the monarchy, while just over a quarter want a change.
God save the King. Why not? I wish I had a pint, but it's a bit early.
Centuries of history will be on display as a new era begins. A historic institution anoints its next figurehead, and a monarch will have his long-awaited moment.